love the seagulls.
Good morning, everyone.
Look at those beautiful seagulls.
And what we're watching here is a older video of the Norwegian Spirit leaving the port just down the road here. Just thought that'd be a relaxing way to start it off today. So, as we're welcoming Rebecca, how are you?
Doing great.
Doing great, and I'd just like to say hi to the Jamaican Farmer's Heart. Good to see you. You're always in every Sunday morning, my time. Rebecca, obviously, Cottonwood Ranch. Good to see you, Raquel. And Eddie popped in for a short stay. I'm sure Eddie was there somewhere. Auslander Info. Good morning to you, sir. Joe, Joe Hub up. Good to see you. And as a Stone Wolf, g'day, Tony. Good to see you, mate. Yes, and yes, thanks, Double Dog. Good to see you, buddy. And yeah, it is Sunday morning. I'm just letting this. Let me try that button there. And yeah, just sort of relaxing a bit with the ship.
Yeah, I haven't saw seagulls in so long.
But you need to fix that problem.
I certainly do.
You need to come and watch my videos. They're everywhere.
Definitely.
Yeah. So.
Oh, look at those.
You can hear them.
Kayaks.
Yeah. No. There we go. That's a sea eagle. This one.
Yes.
He's about twice the size of a seagull. He was sort of claiming his spot there in the sun. It's cooling down here at the moment. We're getting, it was 0 overnight here, Celsius, which is it's about 3 degrees Celsius right now. So she's a little bit chilly this morning. There's another sea eagle.
The ones I remember are the ones that mostly light gray.
Yeah.
That's the ones I remember when I was in Washington State.
Well, the little white ones, the white and grey wings with the little bits of black, they're the locals. They're everywhere. If you went down there with some food, you'd be surrounded by about 50 or 60
is that
of them,
gray?
if not
is that
hundreds.
Gray one? Is that gray one an immature one or a different kind?
No, that's a seagull. That's a sea eagle. There's a few, like they're about twice the size there, and they the seagulls know their place. They're sort of next down the pecking order, so they keep away from them. Hey, budget preppers, good to see you. Or the budget preppers.
That is.
It is
Natasha.
Natasha, yes. Natasha with the monkey.
The monkey.
I love that monkey.
I do too.
He's a hypo cutie. He's an ADHD on steroids.
For sure.
Well, you're getting your seagull fix here, Rebecca. Look at them.
Oh, I certainly am.
Yeah, no, I've got the new camera. Yeah, I've got the new camera now with the 4K. So this isn't the 4K. This is 1080, I think. Or whatever you're watching it on. But the new 4K one, the GoPro, when I produce a video now, it really takes a long time to get the data because it's huge files. But I'm enjoying the process. And this is rainwater. It's fresh water coming out to the sea, and you'll see all the seagulls here bathing in the fresh water. You have a look when it pans out. See them all sitting there in the water? They look like little rocks. Well, they are little rocks, but further down. And then that's a plover. They're a pain. They got spikes on their wings.
I never knew that. I don't know if that's really true.
Which one?
Aussie Lander Info says sea eagles eat great whites.
Oh, yes, sea eagles eat great whites.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they probably do when they're washed up on shore.
They probably do. They probably don't.
Have you got those plovers, those little ones there with the black heads and the yellow faces?
Yes.
Yeah, they usually walk around on the grass and hatch their eggs on the grass, and then they patrol that area like little soldiers, and they swoop here, and they got little spikes on their wings.
The one that really surprises me here in where we live, I think they're migratory birds, maybe or maybe not. They're called killdeer. They lay their eggs in the gravel.
All right.
And they look just like rocks. Their eggshells do. Kind of like if you've ever looked at a quail's egg, it has all these different colors that camouflage it.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, they lay their nests on gravel.
I actually filmed this part of the video just for Tony to show him the quartz seams coming through the stone.
That looks like a barnacle.
Oh, there are, but the white going through the rocks.
Yes.
Quartz. That's quartz.
Wow.
Yeah, going right through the middle of it. I just thought Tony, when I was filming, I thought Tony would like this. And I just, yeah. Anyway, that was, let me get off there. We'll go back to this shot.
Hi, Billy.
And that was a good way of opening up the video this morning, just one of my older videos. Yeah. Thanks, Tony. It was, something different. And yeah, well, they tell me when you see quartz, you find gold. That fascinates me every time I hear that. I go, wow. Every time I see quartz, I think I should have a metal detector. Yes, but we'll go for a little bit longer, Rebecca. But today, shortly.
That took a long time.
It did actually. But it's here. That's the main thing.
In fact, finally, I got something in the mail today. It was sent out on April 20th.
That's my birthday.
And I got it today.
Right. And how far did it travel?
Traveled from Washington.
Oh, gee. Okay.
Washington State.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm seeing the dates on this. Date of mailing 04/01/2023. What, the 4th or the 1st? Is that correct?
It's the 1st.
Wow. That's taken months. Wow. Anyway, that's a bit of a.
Yeah, that was April 1st, and so a little over a month.
Oh, okay. Only a month. Yeah, well, that's about normal to get here. But, yeah, welcome in, Billy. Good to see you. And what's Auslander saying here after this video? We'll see loads of prospectors chipping away at the rocks there. Yes, mate. There's a video. There's a channel down here called Tassie Boys Prospecting, and they live relatively in the same region I do, but they go out into the west, the wilderness, and he goes down creeks, like places that no one's never been. He goes to places that takes you, you're hiking for a day to get in there, and then you're yeah, it's a great channel actually for the Tasmanian wilderness. But he finds gold, so it's still out there because his channel's relatively fresh and new, and it's been going for years, but he keeps finding it.
Hi, Mark Kratz.
Yeah, good to see Mark. Did you see Mark and his flamethrower? That was a pretty cool video.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Today I decided to go live for over 5 hours.
Well, that must have been when I was asleep. But
just yes, you probably were asleep. Yeah, a little over 5 hours, and I finished 3 hats in those 5 hours.
Oh, nice.
So it was really kind of nice.
Yeah. So good to see everybody in. Stonewolf, have you left that destination that you put your video out with the lake that was a bit brown, wherever that was, with the nice boat ramp? It is. It just looked like a cool destination. But yeah, so Rebecca, so what have apart from your 5-hour live, what else have you been up to?
Just working on getting blankets and other things done. Not videoing them, but just doing different things. Made some beef soup for my brother and I, and yesterday, and just doing different things.
Right. That sounds like a typical Rebecca time.
Yes.
And how's your hats going? What
the hats that I've did today and the other 2 that I've made are going to the meetup in Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
so
not far away.
I'm going to try to get a whole bunch of them done so I can take them with me.
Well, that's pretty. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. It sounds like that's going to be huge. Actually, every time I turn YouTube on, there's someone talking about the Oklahoma, the MT, the Mike and Terry and the meetup. That's all I hear now with most of the people that I watch. They all talk about it. So that's pretty cool. So it'd be good. I was talking to the lovely Mrs. Radio and said we might go to that. We might plan an American trip next year around the same time, if that's on again. So yeah, we might even plan that for next year because it's a good time for us to leave because it's a bit cool. The colder weather is setting in.
That would be neat to meet you.
Yeah, so it would be nice to meet a lot of people that you see on screen and you say hi and you could meet them in person. It's like I was just looking at the weather right now at 2 degrees Celsius, mostly sunny, 2 degrees. Like, I suppose for the people that really live in the cold, that's not that freezing, but it's, we had the fire on last night. It was, and the king was crowned last night as well. So we sort of had that on the screen going for ages. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I didn't.
King Charles is officially crowned the king of the Commonwealth. So he's all the pageantry, all the gold gold leaf coach that he was in. That looks amazing because of the history of it. And the if you see the second coach, the one with William and Kate in with the 3 kids, that was actually built in Australia for the Queen when she travelled out here. So if you get to see that again, you'll see an emu and a kangaroo on the crest. So on the side of it and on the front of it, there's the emu and kangaroo. So, that's a very good question there, Mark.
Yes, I did see that parade video.
Yeah, that's our local. That's our local Anzac March, and that I've got about 4 videos of that. I've given one to the lady that you see with the robe. She's the local mayor, so I've given one to her on a USB stick, which is it's probably 100 gigabytes. It's a huge file, and she's seen me there filming. She said, "Oh, if you film some of our speeches and things, can you show me on Facebook or something?" And I said, "Oh, look, I'll just drop it into the office." So yeah, I was there for about 3 hours filming all the speeches, all the reef laying, the band singing, the bands doing the national anthem, the God Save the King anthem, all the different military songs. But I tried to make a video with it all together. It was just way too long, so I just thought I'd put the march in. So it's basically the march. Look where we got to, and then the march back to the back home. So it was like an 11-minute video, which I edited that down about 5 times. I had it, and I looked at it, and I went, "Oh, that's just a bit too long," and people won't really like the speeches and things like that. So I gave that footage to the actual people who asked for it, so they can use it, do whatever they want to do with it. Because I might put another video out. I don't know. And the local scouts, they were there marching. If they want it, they can have it. I was talking to a lot of people. Not everyone's filming their family or their kids or their the subject matter, and I was sort of filming the lot, and people noticed that I'm filming, and people said, "Oh, I'd like to see that when it's finished." So there's nothing out there actually of the whole march, but it's quite. It's every year on April 25th, the Anzac Day, the march, and it's huge in Australia, absolutely huge.
Wow.
I think we might go down to the capital next Anzac Day. And yeah, hi, call me Vi. Good to see you. I might go down to Hobart because they have all the military trucks and the cannons, and there's a real huge march down there. But this is our local branch of the military up here. They run that's for the locals here. And if you see my other video of Penguin, when I walked around the town of Penguin, they do one, and they're only like 15 kilometers down the road. So there's a lot of people out in little towns everywhere doing these marches and commemorating and celebrating past deeds. So it was. Here we go. This is yes, you're probably right, mate. Exactly right there, Auslander. Never enough Anzac Day videos. But I just thought the march was good, and I love the pipe band because the pipe band is the local band. Geez, they do it well. If you haven't seen it, have a quick look. It's quite fun. And Big Tiny, good to see you.
Hi, Rick.
And thanks for that. Yes. So we're here we go. We've got a pop up, and we've got someone sitting outside. Let's see who this could be.
Hey, Jonesy.
Hi.
Hey, Rebecca.
Hi.
Good to see you, mate. Where are you today?
I'm in Florence, Oregon,
Oh, is that
on the
nice?
beach.
Oh, that is nice. All right.
Yeah, so it's raining.
Okay. Well, that's not nice.
I got out, went for a drive earlier when it wasn't. So yay.
Yeah. Oh, I did the drive-by video the other week. Inspiration from you, from when you do your drive arounds and through the canyons and the places that you've been, the desert, and that gave me inspiration the other week for a video, a couple of videos back.
I think a lot of people like the driving ones because you get to experience what it is to like, especially out in the middle of nowhere, driving down where I've been going through the desert. The scene does not change much, but it's something that most people in other parts of the country and the world don't see. So I think it's a cool thing to share.
Yeah, for sure. And I quite enjoyed the idea of it too, because the stabilization on the new camera is fabulous. Because of the old
Isn't
camera,
it?
the old camera would be like shaking, and you just can't use it. But
Yeah, I do most of those on my phone, believe it or not.
yeah, mate, this I got a cheap Galaxy 12 or whatever it is, and yeah, it's
I got an S22, and the stabilization's quite good on it. The camera's quite good too. I even know I don't take pictures with it or film with it because I got better. But
yeah. Well,
but for driving, for me, I got the mount right there on the dash. It's so much easier to just set it up, boom, turn it on, let her run. One of these days I'll put a mount on the outside of the Jeep for the GoPro and maybe run some 4K video doing that.
well, that's what I'm enjoying. Putting the 4K out now, it's a lot more harder work with the computer. Oh yeah, crunching.
On the upload time and just all the time involved doing the 4K is so much more. And for me, on my computer, I can't even watch 4K, so it doesn't really matter to me.
No, well, my computer doesn't want to show me when I do the editing. So the computer won't handle the editing of the 4K. So really, I've got to film it as a shot and know there's no editing there, or if I'm going to edit it, it's going to be at a certain point.
Right.
Yeah. So it takes a lot of planning to do your editing because my computers aren't up to it, unfortunately.
I'll do a lot of put my hand in front of the camera, right in front of the screen, and there'll be a cut and edit point, stuff like that. I do a lot of that. Or 1, 2, 3, go.
Hey, magnificent.
Yeah.
Germany.
Hey, Mark.
Darian.
Yeah. It's Darian. Good to see you. Sorry.
Yeah, Florence, Texas is not the same as Florence, Oregon, buddy.
Out there.
Hey, for Mark, I did go by that whale park today, so they blew up a whale with dynamite in the 70s, made a mess.
Yes, I've seen that happen over here actually, as well. When they try to make it smaller pieces, so but they go flying everywhere if they don't control the blast. Yeah. Yeah, the ferry, Mark, from Tasmania to Melbourne, if you're going without a vehicle, is about $100, and if Australian, which is about $66 US. And if you're going with a car, it's probably $130, which is, and they're $100 US or something.
How long's the trip?
But, yeah, 8 to 10 hours, depending on winds and tides.
So that's not a bad price.
It's a little cruise ship, yeah. On board, there's all sorts of things there to do. There's restaurants and. It's just a ferry, but it's a modern day ferry, and on board you got a movie theater and restaurants and gaming, like a gaming area. There's gaming for the kids area, and like and that's all. The gaming for the kids is mainly free. That's mainly to keep the kids occupied, it's. I quite enjoy the ferry ride, and when I do go on the ferry ride, if one of my videos, Mark, is I've got a video there of the ferry. Which one was that one? I've got one docking in Melbourne that's actually doing really well in the watching, and people are watching that still. All I did was film for about 10 minutes. The ferry slowly coming into Melbourne, and didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing, just press play and press stop or record, and that's got hundreds more watches, views than any of the technical stuff I've done. So go figure. Yeah. But YouTube is a wonderful place. You'll find something that someone wants to watch, and they all watch it.
Big Tiny's getting ready to leave. It's great seeing you, Rick.
I'll catch you later, Rick. You have a good day. And that is one thing about YouTube. It doesn't matter what you put out there on as far as content. There's somebody that wants to watch it. I mean, heck, I got some videos out there I can't believe people watch.
Yeah, I'm similar. I look at my stuff now from the bad camera and go, wow, this is terrible. But there's a video of Boat Harbour Beach, which I think my Wi-Fi might be playing up too. So, be prepared for me.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes, that is a good comment. But yeah, no, it's amazing what you do, and people like you Google something, like you're interested in a certain subject matter, or you Google it, and then it comes up as a YouTube video, or you're on YouTube and you search it, and it comes up with a lot of different videos. So if you name your video the right way.
Yeah, if you title it and hashtag it for the algorithm, it increases your odds for sure. I don't care. I do my videos to share them. You guys know that.
Yeah. Yeah, you still got to. You never get too blasé in doing your stuff, because you always leave the little things that keep the ball rolling. So, yeah. What have we got here? We've got Google is YouTube and YouTube is Google.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We've got Stephen from Sweeney's, but I'm not sure if that's coming through. Mate, oh, there you are. He's in the car. Yeah. Good morning.
G'day, mate. How's it going?
I'm going good.
Oh, man, the sun's shining there.
Yeah, got a beautiful blue sky, sunny day today. Not a bad autumn day at all.
Yeah, I'm in Oregon in the spring. It's rain.
We're creeping into the summer here where I'm at.
Cool. Yeah, I won't see summer for at least another month or two on here on the west coast of the U.S. It just doesn't happen.
Where are you off to, Steve?
There's a intersection on the other side of town, and there's some quince trees that have seeded there years and years ago. I think it was an old homestead. They're basically alongside the road, so I'm heading out. We've been keeping an eye on them. I reckon they're ready for picking at the moment, so I'm hopefully heading out to get a bag full of quinces. which we'll use to make some quince
It's all
paste and quince
broke up. A
jelly.
bag full of what? Oh, right. I got you. Well, that sounds pretty cool. Mark Kratz is getting a bit anxious. He wants to go for supper, and he wants me to. Oh, there we go. Open up the package that's come all the way from the wonderful Miss Rebecca, who's sitting up there busily doing her thing. So, without further ado, let's see what's in this little bad boy.
In that package.
What do you reckon, Rebecca?
Oh, I know what's in there.
I hope so.
Okay, here we go. It's a box inside a box. I mean, a package
Yes.
inside a package. Oh, man.
It ended up me doing
Oh,
that.
this one's well taped
It
up.
made it less. It made it cost less when I
Yeah.
put it in there.
Oh, that's weird.
Nice.
Not that it's
Oh.
really cheap to send anything to Jonesy, but
What was-
I really taped that thing up.
you did. Have a go at it. It's like
and then put it
plastic.
in a bag.
Oh,
There's
this is where I need a knife.
You don't have
or
a knife,
scissors,
Jonesy. That's bad.
or scissors.
Remember the video? That's a knife.
Yes, I do remember that.
All right.
that movie. Those guys ran off.
Ooh, I see the color. Very nice. Well, uh-oh. Look at this. Looky. All right. Let me just bigify this for a sec. I'll be back very soon with the nice look at those colors. And yeah. Oh. Geez, they're in there good.
Yeah, how'd she get that in the box, right?
Look at the size of them. And they're in this little pokey little box. Oh. And I've got the stickers.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, check these out. We've got Mrs. J. Like, look at that purple and blue. That's a lovely. Oh, just warm putting my hands in there. And this is.
Oh, that's nice too.
Look at the color. Hey, look at the color of the hat.
Yeah, it's gonna match your hair.
Yes.
You ain't gonna be able to
It
hear
look
it.
like
Oh wow.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Now are you gonna be able to
talk
hear
about feeling
that hat?
warm.
It's gonna be really warm right now.
He said it was
Yes,
2 degrees
yes,
out,
yes.
so he's happy.
That
Oh
is
man,
that is the first. Well,
very nice, Rebecca.
I consider Canada a foreign country, even though it's attached to us. This is my first international shipping.
Nice.
It's the very first one. Your head's going to get warm.
Well, it's the first one in Australia.
Yes, it is.
That's it. And I got a nice little Ziploc bag here. Let's open this little one up. And we've got 2 lovely stickers. Which one's the original, Rebecca? That's the original?
That's the original, yes.
The lovely Rebecca's
Hey, J&J.
Touched by Yarn. And then we've got the state one, which looks pretty cool. Missouri Rebecca. Look at this one.
There's the
Oh,
other
I'm gonna
one.
get the sun. Sun's
Yeah. There it is.
very nice. They'll be going on the sticker board. And there's a lovely note behind here that says, Radio Jonesy, you're the best bloke in the whole world. You got the best radio station going around, and your video is absolutely astonishingly great.
They're great.
See, it's all
I
written
thought
there
you'd say his videos
it's
rock.
invisible links.
Yeah. I just wrote Radio Jones, so that I knew, when I was making out those stickers. But I don't think Radio Jonesy knows that I have a new sticker and it's my final rendering, but I'm not going to show it until I go live on the 19th.
Cool.
Okay,
That's fine.
cool. Jeez, I'll tell you what, this is that warm that I'm getting. Yes, it's coming through.
It doesn't
muffled.
take long.
It's not.
That's the way.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting warm.
I'm going to be wearing this for a while. Perfect timing, Rebecca. Come just at the right time. And when Mrs. J comes to the back door there, I'll sing out because she said, open it up, open it up, open it up. And I said, when it come, and I said, no, I'll wait till the live.
She's like,
And
I want my hat.
Do it. That's it. Yes, and I'll tell you what, we went shopping the other day, and the poor little dog bought 3 outfits for Charlie. I mean, the daughter bought 3 outfits for the dog. You know how dogs, you try to put clothes on a dog. Some dogs really don't like it. Well, poor old Charlie, he loves it. He thinks he's one of us, I'm assuming. Hey, Baker, Baker, good to see you.
Hi, Baker.
Yeah, the dog. Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Yeah, my dogs hate it. They both have winter sweaters. Even my big guy, he's like, no, that's not happening.
Now, I know that Blue doesn't like to have a sweater on, but when it gets cold, I have a jacket for Denver because he doesn't have as long a coat as what Blue does. Blue's a lab and has that kind of that double coat, but
Yeah.
Denver's more slick, and he definitely does like having something on when it's really cold because he'll sit out there and shiver, So, but yeah, I have a coat that I put on him.
Well, he's got these little striped pajamas that we put on him, and he was loving it and walking around. You must know it keeps him warmer or something, and he's loving it. And then we took it off him because he had them on for ages. We took it off him, and he started jumping up and down, jumping at your leg. And we go, what's wrong with you? Jumping up and down, jumping up and down.
I want my clothes
the daughter
back.
come in and
Just like the rest of us.
yeah. The daughter come in. You think he wants to get dressed, so we put the parka on him with a little hoodie. He's got the parka like a raincoat and a little hoodie on. He wasn't too sure of the hoodie at the start, but he ended up. He's in there now wearing it, I think. So, hey, Steve, what's new on the channel, mate? What have you got up to?
What was our latest one? Last couple have been our honey harvest. So we got 64 kilos of honey so far. So we did a video just showing how we use our new honey spinner and decapped, and which was good. And then another one, we got a couple of trees that we needed to remove because they're in the wrong spot and they're diseased and looking a bit dangerous, and we've got things happening that we needed to get rid of them, and we cut one down and then looked at the second one and realised that it was beyond our ability to do safely. So I'm waiting for a tree lopper to come in to do it properly. So yeah,
I
don't
tell
muck
you
around
what,
with gum trees. If they go the wrong way, you're in trouble.
yes, mate, for sure.
Mm.
And how you going with your? I see you're up to 1,500 subs. So gee, you've done that well. How's the watch
Yeah,
hours?
we're just
Have you
short
got
of
there yet? Or
one. Oh yeah, we got our watch hours probably 6 months ago. So yeah,
that's great.
we're
I remember
just
the big
short of
quiz at the time.
1,600, which yeah, we're up over 6,500 hours now, and so as long as we maintain those, 8 to 10 hours a day, 8 to 10 hours a week, you maintain your hours. So yeah, it's just about having
mate,
consistent videos out and hoping people want to watch them. And, yeah, I've got another video to go up soon. I've just got to finish the. Sorry, Davey.
No, you are an interesting channel. It's
I'm hitting.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, we're pretty varied. We've got gardening and construction and beekeeping and preserving, and yeah, we sort of do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, no, it's you do get swallowed up like I do. I get swallowed up in the big push for working hard to try to get where I'm sort of heading, and you lose focus on the channels that you've been watching in the past. So it is a fabulous little channel.
Yeah.
Let me just drop the link there. So I've just dropped the link for Sweeney's Creek Farm. Yeah, so if you'd like to watch some Australian content, which I'm sure you're here for a reason, on Radio Jonesy Tasmania, which I changed my name to, I changed the brand. Like Radio Jonesy was cool, but I got a few people asking me where was I from? Like, am I American? And I went, what? Am I American? And I went, you know what? That's an idea. I'm going to put Tasmania in my brand. That way, people know that's where I am. And
all you need now is people to know where Tasmania is.
That's it.
That's the other problem, right?
Well, people like the idea of it. Some people go, Tanzania, is that Africa? No.
Tanzania is Africa.
Yeah. Well, that's what Tasmania is. That the same as the place in Africa? Tanzania. There is, yes.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, look, and our philosophy. Our philosophy, our channel's been pretty simple. We've never done a video where we thought, you know what's a video we can do to get more subs or get more views. We've never done that. We just do what we do, the plan that we've got, and make decisions to do stuff, and we just film what you see is what we're doing. So it's the development of the property, and as we add things in, and once I decided to start beekeeping August last year, I thought, well, we'll film that journey so I can. And it's as much for me and my family as anything to see where I started and the journey.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And beekeeping is an amazing thing. Like I watch, what's he? Tim on Ridge Life. He's in Mississippi somewhere. And he does his beekeeping, and I just watch it in amazement, thinking, how's this all work? Like he's just pulling them out, putting on his suit, it's interesting stuff for sure.
Well, you need honey to brew mead.
The first time you put your suit on and open up a hive, mead's a good use of honey. I eat honey an inch thick, so now that I've got hives and I've got plenty, it's pretty good. But it's very addictive. Like the moment you put on a suit and open up your first hive and get in amongst them and start doing stuff with frames and it's just really addictive. And then then you start doing some reading and learning about how bees work, and they're just amazing little creatures.
Down here in Tasmania, I'll just add that. We've got them European bumblebees. The big buggers. Are they European bumblebees?
Yeah,
they're real big.
yeah.
Yeah, for some reason they're down here. I don't know whether they.
I did see that you've got those down there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're massive. They're like.
Well, yeah. They're huge.
Yeah, they seem to. What do they compete? Do they compete with each other? I'm not too sure.
All bees compete for the same resources because they're nectar and pollen based animals. So. Yeah, and I mean that's part of the problem with the European honeybees that we have now. They're competing with our natives, and the native bees have declined, but and that's why as beekeepers our philosophy is European honeybees should be in hives. That's it, and if they're not in a controlled hive where we can do our best to stop them from swarming and spreading, then they need to be eradicated. And I do a lot of swarm removal, and I've advocated to a lot of people, it's either not feasible or too difficult to get that swarm out of that or that colony out of that hole. So bring in the pest exterminators and get rid of them. Because European honeybees in Australia are feral, and they do have pretty major ecological impacts out there, which a lot of people aren't aware of.
Yeah, for sure. It does look like you're on a nice drive there, mate. The sun is glaring.
Yeah, it's just heading through. It's very sunny here at the moment, that's for sure. I'll flick the camera over and you can get a bit of a look at...
I'm going to need to get off here. My brother needs me to find a toolbox.
All right. Okay, thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you for doing the mail call. And
Oh, no, thank you very much. I'll change the title and do a few things to the video later. But thanks, Rebecca.
You're welcome. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, thank you. Bye. There we go. We're on a drive. There goes the Holden Commodore, was it? And we're in Melbourne. No, what part of Victoria are we in, actually?
This is Bendigo, Central Victoria.
Bendigo, yes, all right.
So it's the third biggest. So Melbourne, Geelong. I think Bendigo's bigger than Ballarat now, so it's either third or fourth. We compete with Ballarat for that title.
Yeah, look at they're passing a few gum trees there. By the looks.
Nice ironbark on the side there. Grey box, ghost gum.
Glad you know.
Our forest up here is mainly ironbark, grey box, and yellow gum.
Right.
Might be able to see a big mound of dirt just over the side here. That's to my left here is an old gold mining area. So there's some old mullick heaps there from the gold mining.
Yes, it is the mining town. That's the whole reason the town's there.
Well, isn't Tasmania
the Australian Stock
Australia
Exchange
all made
Bendigo.
from
Bendigo
gold?
used to be the...
Sorry, hang on. Let me go back to that. Tasmania. No, Tasmania
was certainly one of the main things that sort of kicked us off. Tasmania was mainly a convict area, and then agriculture.
Yeah, mate, we're full of prisoners down here, all related.
Also is Australia, for that matter.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Well, I don't think America's a whole lot better. We got
Yeah, well, not many.
quite a few prisoners before they sent them down south.
Yeah.
I know.
Just give you a
I
quick
know
look over
my
the side
family
here.
descends from prisoners.
So that
See?
there is a gully,
Yeah.
and it's an old gold mining area.
Oh, so it's a
So
man-made
the
gully?
land is basically still destroyed and scarred, and that's from 100. Yeah, basically, it was a creek. But then once the gold mining started going in there, and then you get all this soil erosion, and yeah,
It rips it up. Some of the places
spots like
I
that
saw
around
up in
Bendigo, like
Alaska
all
and
over the
Canada
place.
were like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, gold mining's all about moving dirt. So
Then
they,
It's all
in
about gold.
in the
Come on, keep
1860s.
it right.
yeah, it is a nice part of the world, to be honest.
And just on the corner here, there we are. So there's the quince trees.
Right.
Oh.
And what are you going to
Just
harvest?
those ones. Where is my finger? Just in there. So yeah, I'll go see if there's one there. Hang on.
Yep. Well, yeah, Steve, he's on a mission.
He's on a mission for sure.
Let's go. We'll just flick back to this shot. And yeah, an interesting channel. Let me tell you, I quite like the farm sort of channels. That here he comes. He's on his way back. Let me go. Let me just see.
Looks like he's got something to.
He's got some gold.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me bring the camera back the other way. StreamYard needs a faster way to swap your camera around.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a quince.
Oh, very nice.
Is that edible?
It's kind of like a pear-y, kind of. So when you in that state there, if you took a chomp on that, absolutely disgusting. So they're not a fresh fruit to eat. But what we do is we cut them, we de-seed them a bit, and basically you boil them up. And in boiling them up, you extract all of the juice. And the juice, as it cooks, this has a white flesh, but as it cooks, it goes pink. And the juice you then extract out, and then you boil that down and add some pectin to actually then make a jelly, and with sugar. So it's a really beautiful old school jam jelly. And then with the pulp that's left over, you blend that up, and then you continue to boil that down, and then you make a quince paste. And quince paste on a biscuit with some nice mature cheddar cheese is just to absolutely die for.
Well, I'm gonna have to come over and try
So
it.
it's sort of got that sweet, savoury flavour. Yeah. Just to give you an idea, quince paste sells for about between $30 and $40 for 100 grams, Jonesy.
Wow.
You should be in a
Yeah.
Where can you grow them?
Yeah, the last block we made was you can grow these anywhere. Anywhere you can grow apples and pears. Like quinces would do really well down in Tasmania. In fact, I'm sure there's quince trees around.
Yeah.
Matt.
So these are a real old world fruit. These were originally from Asia, from China, and then the British Empire, in their dealings with Asia, brought it back to England, and it became established there. And then because Australia was colonised by England, then they came out with a lot of the early settlers. So yeah, you can also cut them up and cook them and make a pudding called quince pudding, or my granddad used to call it quanga pudding. But yeah, they're an amazing fruit. I don't know if you can see on there, but they've got sort of like a bit of fur. So when they're not ripe, they're all furry. But then as the fur drops off, that's when you know it's time to go. You can sort of see it on the on the edge there. That fur. Yeah. They're a really weird fruit, but when they're done properly, they're bloody beautiful.
A bit like a kiwi fruit.
Hey, Dave.
So, got my. They're really hard in this state here. They're like a really firm pear or an apple, but once they cook down, yeah, they soften up. They take a bit of cooking, and then basically once you cook it all up, you pour it into a muslin cloth and make a bag, and then all the juice drips out of them through the muslin, and you keep all the pulp in the middle. So yeah, it's a bit of a process, but quince jelly is bloody beautiful. So. It's worth doing.
It's usually the.
I think I've got a. Yep.
Yeah.
Got my
the bag,
foraging
sure.
bag.
From Woolworths, is it? Bag for good.
Yeah. I keep one right in the door of my Jeep.
Yep. Yeah, I keep a few here because I try as much as possible not to use plastic bags. It's something, not good for the environment. We shouldn't be using plastic bags unless we have no choice.
Yeah, mine's an old military canvas
Just
bag.
a little thing you can do for the. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's picked fruit.
Yeah.
It's picked wood. It's picked rocks.
All right. Well, all this chin.
All right, Steve. Yeah. Well,
all right.
thanks.
Well, all this chin wagging isn't getting these quinces, so I better get in there before someone else finds them.
All right, mate. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, because you're live.
Yeah. I'm sure a few people know this. This is a corner block, and it's there's no house on it, so it's someone obviously owns the block, but there's no fence, there's no house, so it's basically sort of open slather at the moment until someone comes along and says, "Oi, they're my quinces." So,
yeah, I know a couple pieces of
we
property.
We get quite a few things
that.
from foraging.
That's the way, mate. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of wild apple trees that are just down the road from our place on the side of the road, and we got a bunch of apples from there, and it's amazing what you can collect with if you have a look around and go foraging on the side of the road.
Oh, the guy 2 houses down, he wants us to clean the apples out of his tree because they just go bad. He says, "Come down and get as many as you can."
Oh, you guys don't have deer.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, we do.
Clean our apple trees in Washington.
But
there is deer.
Yeah.
There's actually
they're only in sort of select areas of Victoria. Yeah. I would be. I support hunting deer all year round. In fact, I'd like to see them culled to the point where they disappear because again, they're a feral animal. They shouldn't be here. We have no native deer, and the damage they cause as well, they should be eradicated. And no different to a cane toad as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and they're luckily we're in a cold area.
Same as the feral horses up in the high country, mate.
Yeah. I hear you.
We've got that many problems with feral animals between the feral horses up in the high country and pigs and goats and sheep and cats and dogs and cane toads and minor birds, and we've done a pretty good job stuffing this country's ecosystem up, that's for sure.
Well, down there, do your laws allow you on the farm to kill animals that are endangering your crops?
Not if they're native. If they're native animals, they're protected.
Paddy melons.
So feral animals can be shot, hunted all year round. Although I think deer still have a hunting season, which I don't agree with.
They do.
The only native animals that can be eradicated are kangaroos, but you need to have a permit to do so. You can eliminate some of the parrots like cockatoos and corrals if they're doing crop damage. But again, you have to have a permit, and that can only be done by authorised relocators or people that are authorised to eliminate them. And unfortunately, we have a duck season, which, again, as a supporter of native animals, I don't support the duck hunting season. I'd like to see that banned as well. There's plenty of feral animals for people to go out and shoot without killing our native animals. So
duck doesn't taste that good.
Again, that's my take.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a big thing down here.
Oh, look, I love duck, but my philosophy is if you want to eat duck, my philosophy is, if you want to eat duck, it's a beautiful meat. I love it. But if you want to eat duck, raise them. Get commercial ducks, raise them, give them a good life, and then process them like chickens.
Yep.
You hit that one on the head.
I'm not anti-hunting or anti-meat. I'm not vegan or anything. I'm a meat eater myself, but my number one passion is I support native animals.
Yeah. I don't blame you there.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
mate.
Yeah, that's me on my soapbox.
Good on you, mate.
All right, guys, I better go, or I'll be late home. And
yeah,
always great to jump onto your channel, mate.
Thanks, mate. And for
I'll see if I can get a full bag worth. Yeah. All right, catch you later.
See you, mate. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and if you can tell he's a character, and he's
I've watched a few of his videos over the year. I think about a year I've been subbed to him.
Yeah, Sweeney's Creek Farm. He's a nice guy, and it's a small property, I think, as I recall. Let's see what's in the about section of his. I don't know, 20 acres. Yeah, it's big enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was a little bit smaller, but 20 acres. No, that's nice. Nice size. But
that's way better than what I'm doing. I got 400 square feet.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, the paddy melons are back in force. They've absolutely wiped me out again.
And, that sucks. It's that time of year they're trying to fatten up, Jonesy.
Yeah, well, they one's even jumping over the side gates that I've put up, actually over because the land's on a slope. I don't know how they do it, but they jump, and there's this little section like on the post is a flat. I cut the post flat, and the gate goes up around and then there's like this little, I don't know, it's about 5, maybe 5.5 feet to a flat 6x6 is the post, and they're using that as a landing pad. So last night I put some spikes on it. So
that'll feel good.
Well, that's it. And then I put sand on both sides of the fence to make sure the gate there. So when they do come in and go, I know that they are coming and going there. But last night there was only sand on one side, so they come, they try.
Now they figured it out,
and they went, not going that way. But the wife, I didn't see any, but the wife said at about 4 a.m. she got up, and there was about 3 eating the grass again. So they're coming in over the back. So
you just need to spike the whole fence line and get them things fat enough they don't make it.
Yeah, well, there's a whole generational of young ones coming in now, like probably the ones that I've videoed, the ones in the pouches. Remember those videos? Well, I think they're big enough now, and they're all just saying, "Oh yeah, this is the place where the guy used to feed us bread. Let's go in there."
Right.
And they've come back to curse the property again, but I'm probably going to fence part of the hill now, like go back up another level and put another big fence across and give them a section of the yard and just say,
let it run, let them have it.
Let them have the top half, or Let them have two
I know
thirds
you
of
want
it.
to keep your patcher outside your window there nice.
Yeah, that's
And
still pretty
you don't
good.
need them in there ruining your view.
Uh, Dropping everything and eating all the plants. Like even the plants the wife puts in, like the flowering, like they've been going great for so long, and now all of a sudden they've all been, you know, chewed up and crapped out. So yeah. Anyway, I'll sort that. That's my next mission is to sort a little system where they can feel safe, and maybe I should just put food up there for them and say this is where you hang out. Don't come,
It's
don't
either
come any
that or you completely chase them off. I don't know how smart they are, but I know some critters, if you hang a dead body on the fence, they won't come around.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're very smart, mate. Kangaroos aren't renowned. The kangaroos are the sort of animals that you'd be driving down the road and they jump to the right to get away from you, and then they'll jump
Right.
two jumps, then they'll
Right
jump two
back
jumps,
in.
and then it's bang straight into the car, or into
I've
the
seen a
side
lot of
door.
those videos where it looks like, yep, there they go. Nope, there they come.
Yes. So, what else been happening in your little adventures, mate? So, what's the latest update on the bus or the new?
Right now they're saying the 19th. So they
Right.
just pushed it out another 2 weeks, basically. And because they're having problems getting parts. There's a
Yeah.
few things on the thing that have to be fixed before they can sell it. So, we were told, oh, you be here, what was it, a week ago Wednesday,
Yeah.
and we could pick it up. And now I've been sitting in the same campground for a week, which is fine. But I had plans to leave on the 10th and go
Yeah.
north to a better campground for a week and spend some real quality time on the beach. But now I'm stuck here because it's closer to where I pick it up. So I'm stuck here until I go pick the thing up, which hopefully
Okay.
is the 19th or the 20th.
So you haven't seen it yet?
Oh yeah, we went by there. We did go into that area. Parked, I don't know, we camped about 8 miles from the dealership. Went in and had a good walk around. I have a video on it. It's just not public. It's just so everybody in the family and everybody that's interested can look at the video and judge for themselves whether it's a good rig or not. It's a lot nicer than what I got, either way. Bigger, but nicer.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And
That's what you
diesel, not gasoline. So that's going to be another little bonus.
Yeah, well, over here, for whatever reason, diesel's dearer than petrol.
Really?
You work that out. There's less additives, like less production of it, less.
I don't know. I mean, I know diesel, when you produce diesel, you produce also byproducts which you sell. And why is this always more expensive?
Yeah, it's got me beat, mate. But, see Roadhog and Billy having a good conversation about Kawasaki. Hang on. Yeah.
Harleys, Kawasaki's.
Yeah. No, barbed wire on the fence, mate, is we're sort of not trying to go Fort Knox, but it's just nice. Maybe I've got to build a garden, a fenced off garden. Maybe I've got to let them run around the yard, but not go into a little
just full cage of garden, which sucks.
I know but like in about 4 really good in my little greenhouse, I've got plants growing fabulous because they're protected.
Right.
And I'm just going to
but you want to take those plants out of the greenhouse at some point and put them in the yard.
It's only
and that's not working.
No, but I'll sort it out one way or another. But,
they like hot pepper, cayenne pepper.
Do they like to eat it? I probably doubt it.
because there are some animals and some flavors, they'll just avoid you if you just go sprinkle this around on everything.
Oh, I gotcha.
So you might want to check into that, see if anybody down there's used, spices or user friendly products to put
Yeah,
on. Just, it doesn't hurt the grass, doesn't hurt the plants, but animals
most
don't
of
like
the
to eat that.
most of the old farmers, or most of the old blokes I talk to around here, they say you've either got to fence them out or you've got to knock them out. Is basically what they're telling me. They just keep coming back.
Well, you could get a nice little bow with some blunt tips, and every time you see one, pop him. They'll stop coming around.
I tell you what, I picked up a bit of quartz out of the rock garden here, and I picked up a little piece, like about an inch, and just sort of flicked it at him and hit him. And he just looked at me, and I went, "You." That didn't scare him. So then I picked up one that looked like half a baseball. It looked like a baseball cut in half. That's how big it was. And I pinged it at him, and I hit him right in the body. And the wife nearly had a heart attack. She said, "You hit him, and he's not moving." And it must have hit him and hurt him. And then he's realized what. And then I went, "Ah!" like yelled at it, and it just took off like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So she said, "Geez, that one knows you hurt it. You must have hurt that one."
He's not coming back.
Well, I'll tell you, I was surprised I was such a good shot because he was about 30 feet away.
Oh, good job then.
I was just getting angry. You little fuckers. And yeah. But hey, I'm chasing the watch hours too at the moment. I'm about 1,000. I need another 1,000 to go. So you might see a few of my other lives. I might pop up live here and there, and I might do a music live here and there this week. And because I keep losing, I'm at that stage now where my very first
dropping off the end of the chart.
yeah. I lost 30 the other day, and they've shown me how to go around and look at your cycle, and then you see what's coming up that's going to drop off. So then
right.
Then you run live. So I'm more about getting the videos up to date and getting the videos right and trying to work out what's right for me to do the videos properly. But lives are just so easy to click it and talk a bit of rubbish. And
well, it is definitely the way to do your hours. You may not get the subs as much as some of the videos, but if you're in it for the hours, go lives. I mean, I don't do many lives. I mean, I'm happy to come up and support anybody doing live if I got the time, but every once in a while I go live, but it's not for my hours because I don't care. I don't got the subscriber count. I don't plan on worrying about it either way. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Like I went to, I was on Sheena's lives. She went to the she's doing the rock thing at the moment. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I haven't been able to catch one because I don't stay up later in the night.
Yeah, well, and by the way, I got some you can't see it, but I got some little scrapes and cuts, all these cancers cut out of me the other day, and I go back on Wednesday and they're just starting to really annoy me now. Like they filled them up because they were chunks instead of stitching them. They filled it up with super glue. The super glue stuff they put on.
Yeah.
To stop the bleeding, and now they're like little craters. And the guy goes, the doctor says that what they'll do, they'll scab up, and that'll be your new layer of skin. And at the moment, it's just like a crater of little chunks out of me. But oh man, annoying at the moment. The glue, I think the glue is coming off. Well, you
can always apply more, but that just slows down the healing process.
Yeah, well, it's dry. They're all dry. They're all. Yeah. Anyway, we won't bore you with a close up of it. It's. Hey, the new job too. The job in the office. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Pretty
Drop your
boring.
link.
Oh,
Must
man.
be. You haven't done that in a while, so it's probably too far back for Al.
Where is Al? Al is there. There we go. Yeah, so
I was planning on sitting down and doing a video. I had a couple of them I need to do because it was a beautiful morning.
yeah.
I'm like, all right, we're gonna go for a drive. Come back. I'm gonna shoot my video while everybody's napping, and yeah, as soon as I get everything set out on the picnic table and getting ready to go, starts pouring down rain. Like, oh, that's great.
Yeah, well, it is and like I've got that's my latest video is the March. Here he is. Yeah.
Isn't that always the way, Tony?
It is always the way.
Yeah, look at that sun coming through. I can't.
Oh yeah, he's got the sun. I've got. It looks a lot brighter on camera than it is right now.
Well, I went out today, and it was actually a mix of rain and snow coming down at me. 1 minute it was raining, the next minute it was gobs of snow coming at me. I was like, oh.
So he never gets the April showers there. He always gets the May snow. May shower, May sunshine, but it may not be warm.
Yep. I like this, Tony. What you got going on there? What? Got a little talk.
It was bugging me the other day, so I was like, all right, find my rubber bands, tie this thing up. I've got beads and all kinds of other stuff once it gets longer, but right now I just got basically a brace for mouth braces. I used one of their bands. They hold pretty good. Keeps it kind of contained.
Yeah.
It's I don't think Billy's popped in, but he's awfully dark.
Yeah, it's kind of dark where you're too.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Jonesy, with your hand. I know exactly what you're talking about with your hand because on this hand here I had spilled when I was younger. I spilled sulfuric acid on it.
Oh, nice.
And that ate, like, I got spots on my hand where there's absolutely no feeling at all because it just ate right down through my hand.
Right.
And it leaves big craters in your hand, and it's like it's never gonna go away. It's like there's gonna be a hole.
They take a while.
They do. They take a while, but they do go away.
No.
Yeah.
What was that?
These were taken with a scalpel. He's gone.
Yeah.
Well, I've used a sharp knife on my hands also, Jonesy. I know exactly. I got one right in the crease here that is still pretty good indent. Hasn't quite filled back out yet, but it eventually does. I mean, because I had more than my share. You know, it's like Al trying to cut his leg off. And, you know, cut your leg to the bone. It's going to be a little bit of a hole for a while.
Yeah. It's getting into that phase now where it's turning into a hole and less of a scab and more of a hole.
Yeah, not itching as bad, and it means it's starting to get real.
I chopped my leg with an axe, a small axe. I was chopping a piece of wood and I chopped into my shin bone.
Wow, that's pretty significant.
It looks like a sharp axe too.
I had check this out. I had one of my guys we had butcher season not too long ago, and he nicked his thumb literally at the top knuckle. So what you're talking about is way more significant. You're talking about an axe and your leg, and
ouch.
I mean,
I don't know, man. Those knuckle wounds, they take a long time to heal.
Well, I don't know if it will ever heal for him. He has all of his dexterity. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like he has, there's some. He notices some, but that's not what you're saying.
Sometimes you can't really bend that last joint on your thumb,
Yeah,
I
it's just
know
like
on
what
this
you're
hand
just
it's real
doing,
bad. This
Tony.
one I can no problem bend it, but this one, yeah, I've smashed it way too many times.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like what you're saying, Tony, except he can't pick it up. He can
Right.
squeeze it, but he can't pick it up.
I'll
Now,
tell you a bad story. I used to be a butcher years ago, and I was working.
we are butchers. That's what.
Al's a butcher.
what-
I'm outclassed here. I know
Well,
how to butcher.
I'm going back to the 80s, and this guy's cutting frozen pork. You know, you freeze your pork because it's loose when you want to get your steaks. Yeah,
Oh, really?
his hands.
Gownsy, you know how to. You really? That's nice.
Yeah, that was my first trade.
But all right, man.
Anyway, we'll get back to his hands. He's been cutting these through the bandsaw, and his hands are numb, right, from the frozen. And he's cutting, and I've come in through the back door to deliver some stuff, and he's in his shop, and he's talking, he's doing his thing, and we're just there going, yeah, good mate, and then all I could see then was blood going towards in the air.
No.
You didn't even know it.
He took off the little.
Oh my gosh,
finger
dude.
there, the little finger
That's
halfway
terrible.
up, and then go
I
right
know
ac-
why that happened.
Mm.
go
Like
right
you
across
said, it
there.
was so cold. Man.
Yeah,
dude,
you don't remember
man.
that. You know, you got to adjust when you can't really feel what you're doing.
Yeah, because
We don't have that. We're not that fancy, so we just have a small little. It's not.
Oh, so you're doing knife
It's
work.
not that easy. Like what Jonesy's saying is this is a production thing. He's like,
yeah.
he gets real cold. You know, your hands get cold. You get numb, and you're just doing this.
We-
What do you call that? Just
I was just running frozen. He's running the pork, like the
man,
pork shoulders, or
not good, dude.
he's running them through the bandsaw.
Bandsaw
Ooh.
101.
Yeah.
Good,
They
dude.
don't have those
Finger in there.
bandsaw ones. Skill
Well, they-
We
saw,
get into that
jigsaw,
production stuff.
drill. I got those.
What? Think about it, guys. If you get into that production stuff and you're doing a very repetitive, over and over and over and over, and you're doing that for days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then you're like really good, and they want to pay you like top dollar, and then
That's
all it takes is just one night, man, that
That's it.
you're off
You're
a
not on
little
your game.
bit, or
You
That's
lose
it.
the respect
Doesn't
for
even
that
take-
machine, you're
it
done.
doesn't even take that. This
Yeah.
here, I almost lost this finger to here because I'm a meat cutter. I'm a butcher by trade, but I'm a meat cutter in a supermarket. I almost
Yeah.
lost this finger to here because it wasn't because I was careless. It wasn't because I was doing anything wrong. It wasn't that I was doing anything that I wasn't supposed to be doing. What happened was when I put the piece of meat into the saw grabbed the bone. There could have been a tooth on the blade that was out of
pulled
place,
you
and the
in.
saw grabbed the bone and took my finger with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I almost
Yep,
lost my
that's
finger.
another issue, you know.
That's not any.
Thank
it's not
God
because it
that-
was repetitive or anything like that. It was just,
Hey,
zzz, and I was like,
Sharp,
we
don't
sharp.
do that.
goes back to having sharp blades. You know what I mean.
It was a
Sharper
sharp
the blade, the safer you are.
that's right. That
That's it.
is right. We can't. Listen, check this out. We're not. I don't know if I've expressed this. I know that I have, but we constantly check the sharpness of the blades, even on the bandsaws, like the when those cants. We make sure that stuff it's either cutting really good or we're stopping.
gone.
And we're not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we in the work.
There's no
we-
doubt about it. We
changing
don't have
blades
time
every
for because you know exactly what you guys are talking about. You can't. You run and you run and you run and you run, and then oh, somebody's got to go to the damn emergency room. Well, guess what? You're not
No more
running.
running.
That's happening, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't go nowhere with this. I just wrapped it up and put another glove on and went back to work.
Well, when we actually called the ambulance, and then the picked the fingers up and put them in a
Yeah.
like a tub in
Yep.
a little
Yeah.
bucket with ice in
Little
it.
container of ice.
Yeah, and then off he went to hospital. And when they tried to stitch him back on, they didn't work. They were saying the
Oh, that's too bad.
preservatives in the pork was
In
affecting
the tissue.
It got into the tissue of the fingers.
so it wouldn't work.
I think
so,
what the I think what we're trying to do is trying to get average people to butcher their own animals, and that's where a lot of
It's surprisingly easy, and there's a lot of education out there on that. If you're interested in how do you take down a chicken or duck or goose or bird,
right.
you know,
Oh,
personally I like
something like
pheasant,
that.
but
Yeah, something like that.
then on
easy
down to
enough,
if you want to shoot a deer or a moose, an elk, a bear,
I guess
You
what
can-
you should know how
what-
to skin and process that meat yourself, because
Yeah.
by gosh, those butchers are getting so
Well-
expensive now, it's ridiculous.
I think what happens is that you get a bunch of people like that, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go to Cabela's or some of these
Yeah.
other outlets, and they're going to get a bandsaw or a meat grinder or all this stuff.
I never
Um,
found an animal I couldn't process with a good knife and a hacksaw.
yeah.
my game hunting knife set. That's
yeah,
all it was, a
I
hacksaw
agree with
and
you
knives.
100%. Like, there is no animal that you can't. But we are spoiled as Americans here.
You got those power
we want
saws for cutting
hamburgers,
down the
so we want
spine
a
cord
grinder.
and band saws for
Pardon
slicing
me,
up steaks.
What's that?
Look, I can tell you right now from experience, if you take a steak and you chop it fine on a cutting board and chop it up, you can make your own burger, and it's way better than if
It
you
is way better, yeah. I do that with chucks,
through a grinder.
because you
What'd
can
you
actually
say?
take a chuck steak, decide what your fat content's going to be right off the start. So my wife, she's an 80-10 or 90-10, sorry. I like 80-20. You know, and
Well,
we used to do that.
No.
and-
Whoa, hold on. That's not what I'm talking about. All these idiots want to talk about that. That's not true. If you have an animal, and there's that's your animal, there's no way out. You're not gonna refrigerate it, or you're not gonna hang it, or whatever. You need one of those grinders, probably what your old wife was talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The hand grinder. The mincer.
That's what we had as a hand grinder. We
And
did
you
the
need
pork,
to
the
hang
beef.
all that stuff.
What about
Period.
what about how they go when you're doing mince and you're doing you got the basic mince and then you've got the premium mince. A lot of that's just the mince ran through extra times through the mincer, so the meat.
What is that? What are you talking about? Like, I wonder.
Yeah.
No, Jonesy,
Grinding meat.
there's different amounts of fat content is what they go by for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
No, that's
Well,
fine. I want to know that, because we have to do that same thing.
yeah. When you run different, if you run the premium mince goes through the mincer more times than the budget mince, and
With
that's
how much fat?
it's the same. Well, that's what we used to do.
We run it through 3 times, no matter what it is. It's
So
just
what
fat
I'm thinking
content.
is, if you
The leaner, the premium meats would be way leaner than the regular or the budget
Yeah.
meats. The budget meats just have more fat content in them. That's the
So it's
only.
almost like
Yeah.
a paste then at that point, right?
It sort of gets to that stage, yes. But what happens? Well, if you run it through more, you'll notice the whiteness of the fat content disappears into the like the redness of the meat.
Do you
So,
guys know what a hot dog is?
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty much as fine as that's force meat, I believe.
it can be a mixture. Depends on where
No,
it's
no,
from.
no, no. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not. Listen, if you do like what we do, what I really like to do is one grind, and that's a number 34 plate with because I process off on my meat.
Yep.
You're telling me that you do it like 4 times, so you have such a fine piece of meat that it probably bleeds, I guess, out.
Yeah, like a slurry.
Yeah,
Yeah. And what I'm saying, so okay, all right. So now I'm thinking
That's why I don't eat hot dogs.
Yeah, no, do you see what I'm saying? I guess. I don't know. Fuck, I'm not
going
trying
back.
to be ignorant to you. Trust me, dude. I want to know.
No, well, you used to run less fat in, like, for the leaner mince as well. But
Well, we used to do different mixes. If you want a hamburger, you do a one mix for a hamburger. But if you just wanted ground beef to put in a meal, it may be a different mix depending on the meal of how much
See,
fat
now-
you put
Okay,
in.
all right. Whoa. What is the mix? What are you calling the mix? I don't understand what you're calling a mix.
Meat to fat.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So you're
That's a
saying
basic
1-1.
mix. So if you want to season it, you
All
can
right.
add that stuff too. But
All right.
See,
yeah, the
now-
basic mix is meat to fat.
One
Okay.
of the biggest things and the misconceptions that gets thrown around a lot of times is years ago, and I'm saying years ago, that's 30 years, hamburger meat was not called ground beef, it was called hamburger meat. And anything in scrap meat, whether it was bologna, whether it was hot dog, whether it was sausage, whether it was
Right.
beef, whether it was pork or chicken, that got thrown into the hamburger meat. Now there's regulations in place where you can't do that anymore. You have to have just beef and beef fat, or just pork and pork fat. Like ground chicken,
so-
turkey, same thing. You
No.
can't intermix stuff anymore like that.
Let me ask you this. If that's what it was, would you not consider that like bologna? Because
Pretty
that's what it
much.
sounds like.
Pretty much,
No.
it was almost like the mix of
Bologna.
meat that it was just considered a ground
Or
meat.
hot
It
dog.
wasn't ground beef; it was ground meat.
Yeah.
So you could take it in
Ah.
a package and do whatever you make your burgers out of it, or make whatever you wanted out of it. But it was a ground meat. It wasn't ground
Dude,
beef.
those would
It
be
wasn't-
the worst hamburgers I ever heard of, right?
probably.
I mean,
Yeah.
really.
yeah.
But like
But
nowadays, there's-
basically, what you're talking about is like, what is that? Bologna, or what is that? That Hawaiian stuff. Pork. I guess it's mostly pork.
Spam?
Well, what you're.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
there
it.
you go.
yeah, it's
Spam.
like a
Yep.
spam or
Yeah,
something. And that's what
because-
it was.
Because the only reason that I say that is because if you go from all beef to anything else, you're going to be looking at chicken and pork.
No.
I think that's it. You know, and if you push that to the nth degree, you're going to
Yeah.
have spam with a lot of salt. Lots of
Yeah.
salt.
the salt content's what does make a huge bit of difference because you have to
Yeah.
have it. I mean, even the old style corned beef, when they canned corned beef for the military, it was the salt that
Well,
made it edible.
it's not too long ago that pretty much most of the salt meat was horse.
Yeah.
When you went and bought a
I'm
bucket of salt
not
meat,
old
it
enough
wasn't
to
salt beef, it
experience
was
that.
salt meat.
Yeah, salted
And that's
meat.
what it was.
Yeah.
It was horse.
I've heard of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've eaten it.
Oh, I've eaten it when I was a kid.
I don't want to die. You know.
Yeah.
Don't eat
What are you gonna
mushrooms,
do,
man.
you know? This
Yeah, well,
has been an excellent little conversation. You guys are really cool.
We've gone off
Radio.
track a bit, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's funny how life
Nice
takes
job,
you.
man, on the history of well, I cannot say totally beef, but these guys know what they're talking about. And
Well, I'm a
we-
butcher. I've been a butcher for the past 10 years, so
no
I got a
way,
little
huh?
input from it. So
Yeah,
I've
we used to
been
sell.
I've been butchering for the last 3 years.
nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
You enjoy it?
I started when I was 9.
What?
Now
Come
I'm talking about as a profession, butchering meat and stuff like that. I was doing that when I was younger because of
it was
moose hunting
farm
and
work
stuff,
for
but-
me.
Well, we had the
Yeah,
had
I'm
the
doing farm work. I have the credentials. I'm actually learning. I'm learning. I've gotten as far as like how to separate the picanha. I've done every lower. I think I'm pretty much, well, with the internet. Yeah, right. You can't learn anything off the internet, but I have been separating muscle structures. I'm not even kidding around. I've done all fowl and beef. Pretty good.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you
So,
one.
I'm not gonna screw around with I'm looking at different techniques of skinning.
Skinning's a good tool
on the ground or
I mean,
skinning hanging. I have a hanging situation right now, so
If you're doing skinning, hanging is the way to go with it.
yeah,
it's so
I'm
much
doing
easier.
hanging,
It
so.
is way easier to skin when you got an animal hung than laying on
Let
the
me tell you this. That you're not gonna like this. I'm gonna tell you this though. What, by
Yes,
the way,
lovely.
so our cattle are weighing over 1,700 pounds,
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
and my take home after everything, and I'm not saving filter organs or anything, is 700 pounds. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it.
Boneless for the most part, right?
What's that?
I mean, I know there's a lot of cuts that you want bone, but
Oh, I have, well, interesting that all my cuts, well, there's 3 families involved in all this stuff. So there's 3 different menus. All my stuff is bone in, and the other 2, they're bone out. So we bone them, but it's still 700, 700, 700. And these are 2-year-old cattle.
Well,
Wow.
you're not
They're
keeping none of the organs or nothing, are you?
Those are dog. That's we have guard dogs I guess what you call them. I don't care.
Oh, so
We
you
take
do
the
that.
organ meat and we grind it into dog food.
Oh, we
So I
eat
have
that
no
stuff.
heart, no liver, no kidney. That
Oh
all
man.
goes to
Man, you
dogs.
should be keeping at least the hearts.
Yeah, I mean the heart's
I
the
know
best
it.
food
I
on the
know it.
animal.
I know it. I know it. I know it. You're right. You're 100% right. We haven't.
Just clean
We
them
don't have
before
the
it gets
freezer space to
coagulated.
do it.
But I mean, like
Gotta have that beef heart a long
everybody
time
does
or
things a
tongue.
little bit different. But it's just amazing how much, when you think about, like, you get a 1,700-pound animal and you're only getting 700 pounds of meat out of it.
Yeah,
How much
you're
thought
losing
and
a
everything
lot.
is in there, right?
I mean, we grew up,
let
we
me
used everything, but
let me tell you something though. The market, the price of feed does not allow us to raise cattle that big, as of last year. So we literally have no feeder cattle. As a matter of fact, we can't even get feeder birds right now because of the price of the feed that it costs.
Yeah,
So
and they're doing that with a lot of stuff.
what we're hoping to do is buy late in the season and finish. So I don't know how that's gonna work. You know, if you're used to getting literally 700 pounds of meat in your freezers, and then all of a sudden you're buying a cow for that's 750 pounds, and that's all you can get it to.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big issue.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it. Our feed has gone up, let's see, 300%.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not, it is absolutely crazy.
What sort of land are they on?
What's that?
What's
Land.
the land? Is there good grazing?
Oh no, that's if you have the land. I don't even know about that. I have the land. All I know is that 2 years ago, my feed room, I have a feed room. Everyone has a feed room, right? It was stacked to the ceiling for $800. I'm not a big farm. And then, okay, that was 3 years ago. Right now, I'm getting a third of it. My feed room is stacked to a third, and I'm paying $1,000. I'm paying $200 more than I was 3 years ago for a third of my feed.
I'm sure you know the sad
You got
thing
any
is they're doing it.
commercial
I'm doing
workers
birds.
nearby? Talk to them about the getting their feed in a bulk system. Is store. You have to do storage, but you can cut your price down.
No, dude.
It's bad enough they're doing it with the feed for the animals. They're actually doing it with food for us too.
Yeah,
the prices are going up, but the amount of stuff that's in it is going
insane.
down.
Yeah, that's it. Packaging.
Absolutely insane, dude.
Packaging shrinking and prices are going up.
Like I literally, this happened within a month. They cut out. It was at $4.54, then it went down to $4.27.
Yeah.
And the price went up by 50 cents.
Yep. That's the way it's working.
Well,
Right, so,
also, to take into consideration, I'm also doing sheep, goat, and all flock, including
so you got
turkey.
a lot of different types of feed.
Yeah, I like sheep, lamb.
I mean,
the all cattle.
We started on 600 acres, and we grew what we could. If it could live in the environment in northern British Columbia, we raised it. But it had to be able to survive the winters and everything else, just the same as the garden and what we raised in the garden. But yeah, we had to harvest our own feed for the animals. Simple as that.
Yep.
Just get them to survive the winter. We didn't buy. The only thing we bought was salt and sugar.
Hmm.
Huh.
We
Now
sold a
let
lot of
that
stuff.
be a
but-
lesson. Now let that be a lesson. The only thing that you bought was salt and sugar.
Well, you need salt. We had no way of harvesting it because we're inland. If we'd have been on the coast, we would have harvested salt from the seawater. But being inland, we couldn't do that. And sugar, outside of
Oh.
beet sugar, and if anybody's ever had beet sugar, you know you
Yeah.
want real sugar. Pure cane
Right.
sugar is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we go in, we trade out hides and meat and stuff like that for barrels of sugar, and sometimes even flour if we had a bad season on the garden.
Wow.
We're talking
Yeah.
about 3
That's
acres
pretty
for the
cool.
garden there. So,
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
and yeah, we cut our own meat. We tanned our own hides. We canned our own foods. You know, all of it kind of goes together. We had a root cellar, and it was huge.
Yeah.
Because you had to do all the tanning in the root cellar, especially winter time, keep the hides from freezing. Because that just ruined a hide.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What do you guys
Yeah.
think, Tony? What do you think?
I think if you can live
Did
off
you
the
do all
land.
that?
We used to have a farm. We used to have a farm. And we had the local butcher shop in a little town. So my
I
grandfather
know
was.
Chaff already did. I know Chaff was going to smoke us all probably. Chaff, he's just sitting back there. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's growing
Chaff,
up on a little
he's like,
tiny
oh,
island with
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to do. He can do everything that he can do on his island.
Yeah. Hey, I got about 8 minutes to go, and then I'm going to cut it because we're half an hour over. But this has been a good little conversation. And like I was saying before, I'm just chasing some watch hours, so I might do a few pop-ups this week. I want to,
No worries.
I want to see if I can catch up to. Oh, hang on. Andy and the Odd Collective's popped in. Where is he? Here he is. Did you get snowed on? No, mate. Look at that sun out there. Look at that.
At 2 degrees and sun, he hopes it doesn't snow.
No, well, since I said the 2, we're up to 7 now. It's gone to 7 degrees.
Oh wow! So you guys get warm.
Yeah,
I'll
7
take 7.
7. Yeah, Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but that's pretty
I
warm.
take 7 in Celsius.
That's what we're at right now. The sun's right up there. It is. I've seen on the local news, like they give the whole nation the weather report, and they said, "Oh, it's cooling down in Sydney today. It's going to be 8 to 15 degrees everywhere," and everyone's
wow,
got.
that's cooling down.
Yeah, and they've got pictures of people with hoodies on and parkas, and they're walking around like this. I got 15 degrees. Let's go down the beach. Down here, it was 15. But,
If I was at 15, I'd be laughing. Not no
Yeah.
15 happening around
15,
here.
you'd be dying.
Not no 15 degrees happening around here just yet.
she was 0 here this morning, Andy. So
Oh wow!
2
Yeah, I was
degrees here.
way
That's,
above
that's our
that.
high for today. 2 degrees.
I took the lovely Mrs. down to get some breakfast this morning. We said, let's go down and get some breakfast. So we went down to a little coffee shop that's opened up on the water there and had some toasted sandwiches like cheese and bacon or whatever they were. Yeah, cheese, bacon, and something else was on them. But they were quite
Have you
nice.
guys tried beef bacon?
Yep, I
No.
have.
No.
Dude, what do you think of it?
Doesn't sound
It's
right.
okay. It's not something I was used to, but it's okay. I didn't mind it.
Is it prepared the same as a regular pork belly?
Yeah.
You can, yeah. You can prepare it the same, or
It
you can
is.
have it fresh the same way. It's
The
a
thing
little
that-
bit of a different taste to it. That's all.
Not really. The thing that I did different this year is that instead of rubbing the bacon slabs down with maple syrup and all that crap, I just did salt, pepper, and my soak. And then when I brought it out, I put it on pecan wood. I don't know if anyone knows what a pecan tree is.
Oh, yeah.
but-
Sure.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you what, that stuff is just unbelievable. Last year I did the mesquite, the whole typical stuff. This year I just dried it out. I did the pecan wood. I'm out of it.
For us, it's
I
always,
already-
we smoke almost everything in alder. Alder
I
and
haven't
apple.
tried alder yet. I don't know anything about alder. Sounds about right. I don't know.
It is a quick burning wood. Don't get me wrong.
It's bad, dude. It's real
But
bad.
as long as you keep on it,
So
yeah,
is
you can
pecan.
get some good
Pecan
flavor.
burns real fast too.
Yeah, no, we
I've
got.
never burnt pecan, so I don't know
Oh,
how it
alder?
works. But
Oh, it flashes up fast. I don't know how to settle it down. I did it with one of those cabinet smokers, which
right,
I'm not a real big fan of.
yeah, the smaller chunks
gonna
won't
switch
last
some
you near as
stuff
long as
probably.
if you can get good sized chunks. You know, with alder, we knock down trees because they're standing dead trees about 3 inches across.
Yeah. There you go.
Cut 'em into
That's the same shit.
Chunks and do it that way.
Yeah. That's what
Because
I'm talking about.
they do go fast, and you got to be careful of them flaming up. So a lot of times you got to keep your
Hey,
spray
I
bottle
was
handy.
wondering if maybe I could soak them.
They don't burn very good.
I
So
was wondering if I could just soak
at
them
least
in water.
alder doesn't. I don't know how pecan.
I was wondering if I
works,
could
but-
soak them in water for a long time and then put them on top of some oak coals and then
I normally soak
slow
my
smoke
chips,
it like that. Or
wood
something.
chips, in water for my smoker. So that's not unusual. As long as you got a good hot base going, it doesn't matter how wet the chip is you throw on it. It will smoke up because of the moisture in it. And that's what causes smoke is moisture.
Yeah, but I have to time this stuff, so I don't want it timing out because no, listen, no. All right, hold on. If I roast all my shit on oak, okay, fine. I know exactly how long that shit will burn, and it will burn for a while. But if I take my smoke wood and I soak it, can I extend the smoke, or am I talking out of my realm? Like, do I
You're
sound
only
like
going to
an
get the
idiot or
same
something?
amount of burn time because your wet wood is going to knock down your fire till it's dried out enough to keep up. So you're basically going to knock down your smoke time a little bit. So if you're looking at smoking for 12 hours.
There we go.
You might have to look at smoking for 14 or 15 hours.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
no, if it even slows it down a little bit, you're right though. Well, I plan on like 12, 15 hours. Well, not 15, but 12, 13 hours smoke. Anyway.
Hour per pound is the best way to look at it if you're keeping it constant close to 200.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
we're coming up to
Yeah.
the 2 hour mark. I'm gonna,
All right, Jonesy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it.
I like this Tony guy. He thinks I like this guy. He knows what he's about. You know.
Well, there's only a handful of us left, so
Raquel.
Hey, Raquel.
I'll slip something up to you. I do T65 at the last two, I think, is what I do. So what do you think of that? Like if I gotta, like, this is pretty typical.
There you
I'm
go.
going to do a 14-ounce brisket, or 14 ounce, yeah, 14 pound brisket, and I'm gonna run it for like 10 hours, right? I'm gonna get up real early in the morning, blah blah blah, and then at the end, after a 225 smoke, I'm gonna bump it up to what I'm looking for is like 265 to break the collagens down inside of the piece of meat. I mean, does that make sense? And how
Yeah, but
quick?
if you want to do that, you just brine that thing in some lemon or lime juice, and it'll help break it down even faster. The cook time, I'm still a stickler on 1 hour per pound. You know, if you're
1
going to do a
hour per
burger,
pound,
it's going to
huh?
be done in minutes. But if you're going to do a 14-pound brisket, it's 14 hours.
Right. Yeah, no, that's exactly. I agree with that 100%. But what temperature are you bumping it up to? Like,
I don't let it break 200 till the very end.
yeah, there you go.
If
I'm
I want an internal
eating over at
temperature of
Tony's house
140,
tonight,
150,
baby.
you know, if you want the good medium
That's what
rare
I'm doing.
beef, you worry
Now,
about the
all
temperature in
right,
the
this is the
interior.
most.
So you don't want a
This is
hot smoker.
this is the most important question that you could ever be asked if you were a smoker. How many hours do you smoke, as opposed to wrapping that bitch up, sealing it up, and actually finishing it? How many hours are you smoking it?
Well, the smoke time depends on the size of the product. But when you're talking about right at the end and wrapping her down and letting her cool or rest, as we like to call it, I'd give it at least
No.
10% of that
I'm not
time.
talking about resting. I'm talking about after the stall. Where are you stalling at, and what's after that when you wrap it up? And how are you doing that?
I don't stall on it.
I'm gonna hop out, Jonesy. I'm gonna
All right.
hop
Yeah.
on over with
Yeah.
Devil Dog.
All right, buddy. Thanks for popping in, eh?
No problem.
catch
See you
up with
guys.
See you, mate.
I smoke mine straight through the whole time, and right at the end, I'll wrap it in some butcher paper and let her rest on the grill. Or I had two grills side by side. One was my smoker, and one was a regular grill. So I'd take it off the smoker, put it right on the edge of the grill side, right next to the smoker, where it's still getting a little bit of warmth from the smoker. But let her settle down after that, and that's all I do.
So
Otherwise,
you're literally smoking. You're literally smoking like over 8 hours.
I've done up 22 hours on a smoke.
Damn, dude.
And you can't do a whole pig very easy.
Like straight smoking, 22
Yeah.
hours.
Oh yeah.
You're a fucking rock star, dude.
And sometimes you got to spend the day.
Yeah, I've never
amazing.
smoked nothing. Literally.
That's pork, right?
Yeah, that's the longest I've ever done is a whole pig in a homemade smoker. Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff in the backyard smokers, and yeah, 10, 12, 16 hours. Like I said, it's 1 hour per pound.
What do you say? What do you say for beef?
Beef? If you want a smoked beef,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say go catch some pheasant.
Now, come on, now you got a brisket. You got beef brisket. Beef brisket. A lot of people brag
I think
about like doing
good
13,
chuck
14
roast,
hours.
a good chuck roast smoked is something else when you slice her up in steaks after you're done.
How many hours?
Depending on the weight.
Well, let's say heavyweight.
If it weighs 10 pounds, 10 hours. If it weighs 20 pounds, 20 hours.
All right.
The cut makes a little bit of difference because if it's a really, it's only 4 inches thick and you're smoking
right.
8 inches across,
No, that's true. That's right.
so you got to judge how you want to do that, and that
So
just
if I
takes
got
practice.
a 16-pound brisket, or a 20-pound brisket, because I got cows really,
Yeah, on
really
brisket,
big.
it's pound per hour.
Is that?
On brisket, it's pound per hour. There's no way
Is it
around
really?
it. You do want to brine it beforehand, either way.
You're about right.
And in
You're
the
about
last
right.
hour or two, maybe add your sauce to the outside if you want that kind of thing. Usually, I just like it fine as meat.
Now, do you do the Texas style, or do you do some fancy North Carolina rub, or what are you thinking?
It's salt and pepper is all you ever need on a piece of meat.
Texas rub right there.
I like the flavors that come from the food itself. So you want salt
Yeah.
to help enhance those flavors.
That's why you're a hero. That's right.
But if you want
That's
to
right.
make a sauce, I mean, hey, I've had
You
South
can make a
Carolina.
sauce on the side, dude. When you're making a brisket, you don't need that.
No, you just need the meat.
Well, I appreciate you, Tony. You sound like you know what the hell you're doing, and I agree with everything that you're talking about.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Billy.
That's
On
exactly how you cook food. Exactly.
that note,
Exactly.
it's 2 minutes, 2 hours. I'm about 36 minutes over. But hey, we're
I
going to
know,
end
and
it
I should
here.
be over on Devil Dogs too. So
Yeah, no, there's only a
Oh,
handful
devil
here.
dog.
Yeah,
I'm having
there's
a
lot.
good conversation. I'm happy to be
Yeah.
here, and thank you, Jonesy, for letting me up.
Oh no, no
Yeah,
worries, mate.
Jonesy, thank you. I'm sorry
That's all
I
right, Billy.
kind of
Good to. No, it's
splattered
good.
your whole channel.
Nate, it's good to just
Ozzy.
go with the flow. When the conversation goes a certain way, you just run
I'm
with
done.
it. So yeah, so thanks for popping in, Billy. It's been good to hear you. And I liked Cottonwood Ranch. He said, "Geez, Billy sounds like Bobblehead." Groovy eggs, groovy
I
eggs
just
over
like
there.
I like the cooking. I'm in the flying and I'm in the fishing. So
All right. Well, yeah, I haven't done much fishing. I'm sort of maybe I should. I live on an island. There's
I got a
water
new
everywhere.
airplane, by the way. So,
Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, I'm going to end it here. Just stick around, and we'll. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and Cottonwood Ranch, Rick, Andy, and Tony. Thanks, and Billy and Al is been and gone. Thanks for popping in. So we're going to end this one here, and same time next week we'll be back. And look out for some